speak, not the examiner. Part 2. That's right. Thank you. Good job. Which part should we give the most detailed answers? Would that be part 1 or part 3?
Part 1, I think.
Part 1? Although all answers should be given with details, part 3 would be the most detailed of those two. Part 1 deals with general questions, and part 3 goes in depth into the topics. So let's go ahead and jump over here. All righty. So you guys got it right. We have part 1, part 2, part 3. So part 3 is going to be very general. It'll be about hobbies, friends, music, travel, basic and general things. Part 2, you're going to have a topic and it'll be a monologue, which means only you're speaking. The examiner will listen to you. Okay. You will prepare for 1 minute and you will speak for up to 2 minutes after that. Just to give you a little tip, your goal is to speak over 1 minute. Under 1 minute, you can lose points. Okay, so aim for 1 to 2 minutes. At 2 minutes, you will be stopped in case you go over. Okay, and then part 3, we are going to go into specific questions. A lot of the times will be related to part 2. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, now let's look at some part 1 questions. I want to hear some of your guys' pronunciation. Let's see. And let me apologize ahead of time. I don't have experience with Uzbek names. Let's see. Gulnosa, can you read the first question, please? Or how about Camila?
What kind of sports do you enjoy playing?
Awesome. Aminova, can you read the second question?
Third question?
The second question.
A second. I'm sorry.
Oh,
what?
sorry. Let me. I clicked something wrong there. There you go.
Okay. What are some sports you have never played and why?
Good. Okay. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Madina, can you read the third question, please?
Do you prefer time sports of individual sports? Why?
Good. Team sports and individual sports. All right. Thank you. Nargisa, can you please read the fourth question for me?
Why do you think people play sports?
Good.
Why?
And good. Thank you. And last but not least, Sarina, can you read the last 2 questions there?
What is the most popular sport in your country? Why do people like this sport?
Awesome. Awesome. Good. All righty. Let me pick someone. Zabosha, what are some sports you have never played and why?
Rugby, I have never played because I have never faced the coach of this sport.
Gotcha. Okay. So maybe you want to say I have never played before because maybe I have never met anyone that has played that sport?
Yes,
like
yes.
that? Okay, cool. All righty. Good, good. We need to work on the structure there, but good. So I'm going to come back to you at the end of the class today. And after we cover everything today, I want you to answer the same question again, okay? All right, remember, I'm going to come back to you at the end today. I'm gonna write that down right now, okay? Sabosha. Question 2, part 1. Okay. All righty, good. Let me get one more person. Nigora. What do you think people play sports?
Can you repeat?
Yes. Why do you think people play sports?
Because they want to be healthy, more healthy, and maybe they interested in sports in their life, healthy life. Maybe.
Healthy? You mean healthy?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Repeat after me. Healthy.
healthy.
Good, good. That's better. Okay. Awesome. You're right. All right. We need to work on that structure, but yeah. Maybe they're interested in sports and they want to lead a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
Maybe we could change it to something like that. Great. Okay, guys. Let's go into part 2. Now, I'm going to give everyone 30 seconds. I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil now. Everyone, please get a pencil and a piece of paper right now. Or a pen. Yeah, just any writing utensil will do.
Piece of paper.
All right. 15 more seconds, and then I'm going to start. Everybody, piece of paper and a pencil. All righty, here we go, guys. I'm about to start. Okay, now for the next activity, you are going to look at a part 2 question. How long do we have to prepare in part 2?
1
1
minute.
1
1
1 minute.
1 minute.
Right. That is not a lot of time. Yeah, not a lot of time at all. So when we go into part 2 now, I want you to focus on the tense. Okay. What tense are we using? Okay. For example, have never played. Right. What do you think? What do you think people play sports? So we need to focus on the tense and we need to focus on the words that we want to use. So I'm going to show you part 2 now. I'm going to give you 1 minute to make the notes. You don't have to speak. We're just going to practice making the notes. Okay? When you see the question, the clock will start. When we finish, show me your paper on the camera. All right? So, when I show you the question, what are you going to do?
To make notes.
To write down.
Right? Make some notes. Write some stuff down, right? All righty. And when the minute is up, what are you going to do after that?
We show
Show
our
you
Show
paper
me
to
on the
you.
camera. Perfect.
Yes.
All right, guys. Here we go. It's only 1 minute and it's going to go fast. We start in 3, 2, 1. And 1 minute starting now. Think about the tense and the vocabulary that you want to use. Short, no long sentences.
Ой, сипой мı? Yok. Tip git. Gel.
Şunu
Okay, time's up, guys. Show me. Let me see those cameras. Let me see what you wrote. Let me see. Good job. I see short notes for some of you. Good, good. Okay. Good job. Good. So, with that being said, I want you to remember you don't have a lot of time in part 2 to prepare. Do not write sentences. Write short words, short little phrases that reflect the tense of this, right? Describe a role model you have had in your life. So that's present participle. Okay. Oh, sorry. Alrighty. So, yeah, your answers need to reflect the tense. That is very important. Otherwise, you will be marked down. Okay. Now, this is part 3 questions. Part 3 questions, we want to give a lot of details. We want to be as in-depth and as detailed as possible. You want to be very specific and use vocabulary that is specific to the topic. All right. One of the things I want you to know is that if you think you can use the word for any kind of topic, then maybe you should rethink. All right. When you're practicing, try to be as specific as you can of whatever topic that you're talking about. So let's see. Who do I see in my cameras here? Let's see. Who do I pick on now? Nargisa, read question 1 for me, please.
Nargiza, we cannot hear you because you are unmuted. You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Can't hear you. I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Kamera mikrofon
Bo'ldi, bo'ldi. Now, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Welcome.
Sorry. What attributes should a good role model have? Why are role models important? Have you been a role model to anyone? What responsibilities does a role model have? Can having role models be a bad thing? Why?
Good. Okay. So our goal there is, like I said again, to be as specific as possible. So Nargisa, good job. Great pronunciation on those questions. So let me pick on you and ask you one. Be as specific as you can. What responsibilities does a role model have?
Responsibilities. In my opinion, that there should be the continuation of the part 2, and we need to choose the specific characters of the person or of role model, I think. Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Great answer. Great answer. We need to work on the structure a little bit, but overall, you got the important information in there. So very good.
Thank you.
Awesome. There's another Nargisa, but the other Nargisa has a last name. Let's see. Nargisa Klicheva. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Okay, let me pick on you now. Oh, sorry, I went in here. Okay. Tell me, can having role models be a bad thing? Why? Oh, I think we lost Nargisa Klicheva. Okay, let me get somebody else. Muslima, are you there?
Nomor 3 jauh.
Oh, okay. Well, I do hear Shaknosa speaking, so why don't I pick on you? Tell me,
Okay.
can having role models be a bad thing, and why?
So actually, I don't think that having a role models in life can be a bad thing. But anyway, it depends on a role model that you have chosen. If the role model that you have chosen a good person, or the person that can exemplify in life in all the spheres, then you can go on exemplifying and imitating this person. But if the role model is a bad thing, like nowadays we have YouTube and we have internet, and there are lots of images or heroes that many young children nowadays imitate or try to imitate. For example, Spider-Man. Every time he jumps up from the height, and that's a bad role model for the children. I think so.
Great answer. I love how at the beginning you said actually, you should include some more vocabulary like however,
Okay.
little things like that. Like you said something if they see something, or you can say however if they see someone, so that the sentences are better connected.
Yes.
But overall, the information is there. We just got to work on the structure a little bit. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All righty, guys. Great job, everyone. Thank you for participating. All right, now we're gonna go into test situations. Okay. Remember, more or less, the speaking test is gonna take you 15 minutes from when you walk in and you walk out of the room. So your goal is to be loud, natural, coherent, and complex. Okay. So you can use basic sentences and get a pretty high score. But in order to achieve the higher bands, the complex vocabulary is what's going to help you do that. Okay. We need to strive for complex sentences. When you see me right now, right, I'm with my arms open, chest. So we don't want to be like this during the exam. Right. Right. Do not cross your arm. Sit up straight. Open posture. Okay. It makes you speak. It makes your speaking a lot easier to hear. It makes you seem interested, and that is part of the test. Okay. If you're just sitting here, oh my gosh, I'm taking this, that is not going to reflect well on you. Okay. So we need to bring our best attitude. Okay. Walk in there with a loud and clear voice. Be confident. All right. Show feelings. That's very important. One of the biggest problems I encounter as an IELTS teacher is that people don't speak loud enough. And this might be an Eastern Asia problem because I live in Vietnam. But so far from when I hear you guys speaking here on the microphone, wow, amazing. Okay, good job, everyone, in that end. All right. So all the topics are going to be things that are familiar to everyone. Okay, anyone and everyone all over the world, and you need to show that you're interested. You need to be positive, and this needs to show in your voice. One of the things is that you're not always going to get a topic that you like. So just remember that, okay? We don't have a choice. So just go in there and try your best. Take a second to read this slide. There are some differences between the style of English used for natural speaking than there is for academic writing. Natural speech during the speaking session should be less formal and more flexible than academic written English. Okay, for example, I spent too much money last week, or I have spent too much money the last week. So contractions are encouraged in speaking, but not in writing. Remember that very clearly. That one part does not translate, and if you use contractions in your writing, it will affect your score. Okay, but in speaking, it will improve your score. All right, it will make you sound more natural. We use and or but in sentences, but we don't want to use that so often in writing. All right. When you're speaking to the examiner, try to avoid using you. If you feel like you need to use you can speak in third person if someone were to. Okay. Because it could be confusing for the examiner. So we want to avoid that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about speaking strategies. Now, think about that. Okay. For when I want you to put this into practice, because at the end, I'm going to call on some of you to answer some more questions. All right. So take some notes. Keep this in mind. You can buy some time whenever you need a little bit of time to think. You're not sure of the question and you want to buy yourself some a few extra seconds. Look at these phrases. Everybody, give it a try. That's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. Give it a try, guys. Speak by yourselves. You don't have to you don't have to turn on your microphone. That's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. That's an unusual question. Can you give me a moment? As an American, a lot of us Americans, instead of saying the full word second, let me think about that for a sec. All right. Little idioms like that will help you out. Okay. Can you give me a sec? Can you give me a moment? Give me a minute. Look at this one. Pay attention to the intonation. Give it a try, guys. Give it a try by yourself. Yeah. Everybody, give it a try. Well.
Well.
You gotta extend the E. Well.
Well. For example, if I ask you, do you like chicken? Well, let me think about that. Yeah, I do like chicken. Let me think about it.
Well, let me think about that for a sec. Give it a try, guys. Well, let me think about that for a sec.
Let me think about that a second.
For a sec.
Let me think
For a
about a sec.
Yeah. I see some of you guys with your THs. Remember, think. All right.
Think.
Good. Look at the last one. Well.
Wow.
All right. Now, with that being said, pick your battles, guys. Meaning, you cannot do this on every question, or your score will be affected. Okay. You know, every question is an interesting question. Every question is an unusual question. Then your examiner will throw their hands up in the air. Oh my goodness. This girl finds all the questions interesting and unusual. All right. So pick your battles, guys. All right. Save them for one that you really needed. Okay. Remember, they're not going to rephrase anything for you. They're not going to slow down for you. Okay. They're going to speak to you naturally, and it's your job to understand them. All right. So pick your battles. All right. Save them for the ones that you really needed. So make sure you're always paying attention. Okay, let's do a little bit of role play here. Camila Kribeva, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. We'll do the I'll be the examiner and you'll be the student. I wanna hear your Okay. All right. Camila, what attributes should a role model have?
Let me think.
Good job. Certainly. Okay. Great job. Thank you, Camila. Sebosha, let's try it. I'm going to pick on you again. What attributes should a role model have?
And that is an interesting question. Can you give him a moment?
Let's try that intonation again. That's an interesting question. Can you give me a moment?
That is an interesting question. Can you give me a moment?
Much better. Good. Okay, you want to, because it's an interesting question, you want to sound a little bit surprised. Oh, that's an interesting question. Can you give me a moment? Can you give me a moment? Right? Certainly.
I believe.
There needs to be a little bit of an H in there. It's like you wanna say the H, but then you want to take a breath right after the H. You're like, much better. Okay. Remember those will save your life when a really hard question comes and you need that extra 2 or 3 seconds to think. All right. Remember the utterances.
That's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second.
I'm sorry, I couldn't really get what you said. Can you repeat yourself, please? Sorry, whoever spoke, I didn't catch you. Oh, how can we improve our speaking skills in 3 months? You need to practice every day. You need to eat, sleep, breathe, do everything in English. All right. I study a foreign language myself. I live in Vietnam and I study Vietnamese in my free time. So I take some time during the day where I don't speak English. All right. So try that. Do not speak Uzbek or Russian or whatever your main language is. And give yourself time. Make friends that want to speak English. That have the same goals as you. And you're gonna have to work very hard for that. But if you work hard, and it all depends on your ability too, I think you can achieve it. Thank you for your question. Okay. Now excuse me, tongue twisted. You're gonna get a lot of questions that ask you about, like this one. What's the most popular sport in your country? Why do people like this sport? What's the most popular food in your town? What's the in your town? Are there any interesting attractions? So when you reply to these questions, don't say in my town. Say the name of the town. Say the name of your country or the name of the place. You need to assume that the person, the examiner, they know nothing. They are an alien. Okay, they just came from Mars today, and they don't know anything about planet Earth. Okay, so you need to be very specific, very, very specific. Use a lot of adjectives, adverbs, go into details. Okay, every question, look at this. Every question should have that answer, and you need to have an explanation, and you need to have an example. All right? What is the most popular sport in your country? My answer, in Russia, I think football is the most popular. Explanation. You continue to add detail. Although ice hockey is very popular as well, both sports are very fast moving with lots of excitements, which makes them appealing to Russians. And that's your example. Okay, and your details there. So you gave your answer, you gave an explanation, and you gave an example. Okay, both sports are very fast moving. That's your example right there. The first one, the first sentence has the answer and the explanation. And one of the things, stay on topic. Okay. Do not go off topic. That is one of the things, is if you go off topic, the examiner is going to think that you do not understand the question. Why are you talking to me about all this if it's not related? Okay, and it's easy to do that because our instinct is to fill in. It's like, wait, this my answer is not long enough. Okay, it's better that you give a shorter answer with the proper details than you speaking for a while and you going off topic and things that are not related to this. How can you fix your pronunciation? Thank you for your question. You can fix your pronunciation again with practice. One of the things that a lot of people use here for us that are learning a foreign language is we use Google Translate. If Siri on your iPhone or whatever phone you have, or if it can catch your pronunciation, you are improving. Okay? So it does accept some things with mispronunciation, but your pronunciation needs to be close enough for the system to understand it. So that is a way that you can practice pronunciation by yourself. Talk to Google Translate, talk to Siri, talk to Alexa, or whatever your device, the voice recognition has on your device. Another thing that how you can fix your pronunciation is by listening to songs and singing along, practicing your speaking with friends. Okay, practice makes perfect. Okay, so think about all those things. Can being a shadow, not all the time. When I think about the word shadow, I think you're talking about listening to someone in the background. No, for you to improve your pronunciation, you need to work. You need to produce language. And Shagnusa, yes, recording one's voice also helps. Thank you so much for sharing that. Absolutely. Listen, record yourself and compare it to something from Google Translate or from another sample, and try to pick up on those differences. All righty, guys. If there's anything that I want you to take from tonight, take a picture of this. Take a screenshot. Take a picture. Remember the grammar. You want to incorporate as much of this as you can on every possible question. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds here. Take some notes, take a picture, take a screenshot. Sabosha, that is when you're practicing, what you want to do is start writing. Start writing what you're thinking about. Practice more topics. The more topics you practice, and get into practicing things that are not comfortable for you. Okay. The more you practice, and make it a repetition. So go back to the things that you already practiced. It's not enough to only do it once, but you need to revisit and re-practice things that you learn so that those ideas stay fresh in your mind, especially when you go take the IELTS one day. The more topics that you cover, the more comfortable you're going to get and the more ideas you'll have. And as you get more practice, you'll learn to better recall those past memories and that past knowledge that you learned. Thank you for your questions, guys. Okay, so your grammar is very important. You need to pay attention to the question. Okay. How well is your conjunction? So how well are your sentences connected? The adverbs of frequency. Okay, we need to give a degree of things. It's always good. It's never good. I love it. Okay, I really love it. I really hate it. All right. And you need to do adjective clauses. What kind of people? Yada yada yada. People who are blah 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 do yada yada yada. Okay. Now, with everything that you've learned before, and at the end here, I'm gonna make sure you put this into practice. Okay. I'm gonna share a few topics here, and we're gonna practice and give feedback. Look at this. You need to paraphrase your questions. It means the words from the questions need to be in the answers too. All right. What kind of sports do you enjoy playing? Well, a sport that I absolutely love to play is ice hockey. It's fairly competitive and it keeps me active and healthy. I also enjoy playing football when the weather is warmer. So, what sports do you enjoy playing? I absolutely love to play. We don't need to, when we paraphrase, we don't need to do this word by word. Okay, remember, we need to use synonyms. We need to use vocabulary that's related. If we paraphrase everything word by word, that will decrease your score. Okay, so practice synonyms of different types of vocabulary for different types of topics. Okay, remember, you need to have your answer, you need to explain, and you need to give an example. Okay. Look at this. The student paraphrased the question. Use the adverb absolutely to show how much she enjoys ice hockey, and the word love instead of enjoy. All right. When you enjoy something, you can love something, right? So we need to work on those synonyms. All right. Look at this. The end of the sentence adds completeness and complexity to her response. So there's the response, there's the example. Okay. And there's the details there at the end too. How can I increase my speaking alone at home? It's better when you speak to someone else, of course, but remember, speaking alone, you want to use apps. Look for a lot of the different apps that are available to you, and use the things that I mentioned before: Google Translate, Alexa, and those things. If it can pick up your English, then your English is improving and it's getting better for the AI to, or whatever the system is called to recognize it for you.
Critical speaking. When you're practicing for the speaking side, think about these questions. What am I saying to the listener? What am I saying to the listener? Why am I saying this to the listener? How am I saying this to the listener? Does the listener have a clear and specific idea of what I'm talking about?
Good. Thank you for reading that for us. Thank you for reading that for us. All right. That's okay. You saved me the work, and you did a pretty good job at it. Okay. All righty. So what am I saying? Okay, you need to make sense. Why am I saying this to the listener? How am I saying it? And does the listener have a clear and specific idea of what I'm talking about? All right. This is something that you need to have in the back of your mind. And it is something that you need to take into account, especially when you're practicing for the real thing. Look at the next example.
The main responsibility role model has, in my opinion, is to live in a positive way. which reflect their beliefs. For example, the role model who teaches honestly and kindness must be honest and kind in their everyday life. It's not enough for a role model to say things, he must do them as well.
All right. So this question has the answer, has some examples. All right. It's explained too. Right. So look at that. What am I saying to the listener? You're explaining the responsibilities of a role model. I need examples of a responsibility, and I need to explain why this responsibility is so important. Why am I saying this to the listener? I'm saying this because it answers the examiner's question specifically and completely. How am I saying this to the listener? Confidently and fluently with examples to back up my points. Examples are crucial. You need to give your answer, you need to explain it, you need to give examples. Okay? When I mean you need to give, you need to explain it, you need to give details. Okay? I like chicken. No, I don't care what that you only like chicken. Why you like chicken? How do you like your chicken? Where do you like to eat your chicken? Right? I want all the details. The more detail, the better. Details are your friends. All righty, guys. I don't have any more slides for you on here, but now it's my favorite time. I get to practice with you guys. So I have a few sample topics here that I'm going to open up. And I'm going to pick 5 of you to practice with me, and I'll give you some detail. Give you some feedback. Here we go. All right. I thought I lost these for a second. All righty. I'm going to take one person for 1 or 2 people for part 1. Maybe 1 person for part 2, and 2 people for part 3. Okay. Any volunteers for part 1? Please raise your hand. Give me your online hand like this.
Can I?
Yes, you may. Is this Muslima?
Yes.
Okay, Muslima. All right. You will be the first person here for me. Let me open the topic here. All right. And those of you that have your hand up, leave it up because I'll pick on you next. Okay. All righty. I'm going to write down some of the things that you say too. All righty. Muslima, do you like plants?
Let me think about that for a second. That's a good question. Yes, I really love plants because I'm a girl and I enjoy the view of the flowers, trees, especially in the springtime. They blossom very beautifully, and I enjoy watching them.
Okay. All right. So let me think. That's a good question. I really love plants. I'm a girl. I enjoy the view. I enjoy view of the flowers, especially in the springtime, very beautifully, and I enjoy watching them. So one of the things that you probably want to change. I really love plants. I'm a girl, and I enjoy looking at the flowers, or I enjoy the view of the flowers, especially in the springtime, very beautifully. Sounds a little bit odd here. Okay, so instead of in the springtime, the flowers look beautiful and I enjoy looking at them. Maybe you don't want to say watching them. Watching is something that we do for a long period of time. So I don't think you're going to just sit there and watch the plants. Yeah. So if you watch the plants, I don't know, your neighbors might get a little bit concerned, your friends. So we don't watch the plants. Yeah, we like to look at them, take a glance at them. Okay. But we watch the TV, we watch movies and things like that. All right. But no watching the plants. All right. But thank you. Good. Great job on your answer. And just so you know, that answer will give you about a 5-ish. Okay, 5 on it had the detail, it had the substance, you understood the question, but we still need to work on that structure. Okay, and thank you so much for participating. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna butcher your name, Jamshidep Torakhanov.
Jamshid Namayati.
Yes, I am here.
All righty. Thank you so much. Let's talk about accommodation. Do you live in a house or a flat?
Nowadays, I am living in a terrace house because of my parents choose to live there, and so I prefer to live in my home, my terrace home.
Okay. Did you say a terrace home?
He
Terrace
said parent.
house.
Oh, parents' home. Okay, gotcha. Repeat after me. Parents.
Terrace house.
One more time. Parents.
Parents.
There you go. Okay, you prefer to live in your parents' house. Okay, we need to work on the pronunciation of the P. Make sure you pop the P. Parents. All right. But the subs.
Yes, but I said terrace house. Terrace.
Oh, terrace house. Okay, so that's what I heard. Okay. Nice. Okay, so you did say terrace house. Gotcha. Somebody told me you yeah, okay. Next time I want you to speak slower and I want you to enunciate your words a little bit more until we can improve your pronunciation a little bit. Okay?
Yes, I mentioned above my pronunciation is bad.
No. It needs some work, but that's okay. We're here to work on that. At this point, this will give you about a 4. It was a little bit hard to listen to your answer, but follow the advice that I gave. Practice by yourself or practice with some friends and record yourself, compare it. And that'll give you a lot more chances to practice.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
I got you.
Okay, Shukrulo.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good evening. Fine, thanks. And you?
Good, thank you. All righty. Do you enjoy shopping?
Hello.
Hey, do you enjoy shopping?
What? Can you repeat that?
Yes. Do you enjoy shopping?
Yes. To my way of thinking, shopping, it's my cup of tea. Every Sunday, I go shopping with my family members. I think the shopping is the best activity. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Great answer, straight to the point. I love the detail. Now, the structure at the beginning. Yes, to my real thinking, shopping is my cup of tea. That sounds a little bit strange in English. It's not something that...
Sorry, but to my way of thinking, the shopping, it's my cup of tea.
Okay, that's still a little bit, that's better, but still a little bit weird.
Okay.
Instead of, to my way of thinking, in my opinion, shopping is good. Don't the shopping is my cup of tea sounds a little bit awkward in that sentence, so just in this case eliminate it. Don't use idioms unless you're 100% sure. Okay, in this case, this idiom, it would have affected your score in the IELTS. It's not natural. Yes, in my way of thinking is my cup of tea. Say one or the other. In my opinion, shopping is something really good. Or great question. Yes, shopping is my cup of tea. Something like that will sound more natural. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, buddy. All right. We're almost out of time here. I need a volunteer for part 2. Okay. The one with the name in Cyrillic. I don't know how to read Cyrillic. I'm sorry.
Botter? Yes, Mr. Botter, you can speak because your name is in Cyrillic.
Yeah,
Good
okay,
evening. You
Botrick.
speak, my name is Khadija. Next time I will change the name. Sorry for Botter. I am Khadija.
No. Hadicha. Okay, Hadicha, nice to meet you. Sorry. No bother. It's okay. It's your language and you can write it however you want. It's just I can't read it. All right. Okay, thank you for being my volunteer for part 2. I'm going to share my screen with you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you have 1 minute to prepare for part 2. Describe a city you have visited. You have 1 minute to prepare, have a think, take some notes if you wish. And then after that, I'm going to ask you to speak for up to 2 minutes. Okay, your 1 minute to prepare begins now.
Okay.
All righty, you may start speaking now.
Okay. Actually, I like traveling because from my childhood, my father took me to several cities. I visited such cities like St. Petersburg, Moscow, Dushanbe, and but now I'm going to tell you about my visit to Bukhara. I have been to Bukhara for, to my mind, 6 times, but the first one was in 2000 year, and it was just business trip for the first time, but following travelings were just for entertainment, just for we went there with my family. It was very enjoyable, and it was very interesting from historical point. You see, I like Bukhara because it has very rich history, and it helped me to open my mind to know more historical facts, to know the history of Uzbekistan better, and to appreciate values, historical values. I learned many historical persons, their views, their collaborations, their achievement to prosperity of my country. You say, for example, I know the old city of Bukhara as Tashkent. I was born in Tashkent, but I love Bukhara as well as Tashkent.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Sorry, that was 2 minutes. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All righty. So to give you some feedback, I like how you started. Actually, I like traveling. So you want to you developed an interest in the topic immediately, and that's something that we need to do. The first one was in when you talk about city, not the first one, but the first time was in.
Okay.
Okay. You
Yes.
missed a lot of articles. Maybe your language doesn't have these features, and it happens to Vietnamese people too here. So it was a business tree from a historical standpoint. Okay, it has a very rich history. So pay attention
I
to
see.
those articles. You didn't get to the part what you disliked about the city, so you need to work on your time management. So here, if you could have gotten to to the dislikes about the city, you could have possibly gone up to like a 6, okay, on an IELTS band, because you were being very detailed, and you were using a lot of from a historical point, rich history. You were using a lot of vocabulary that was specific, and it was good enough for the topic. Okay, you need to manage your time better. Okay, and
Okay, thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, pick exactly what you're going to talk about. Okay, make some notes and make a little check mark in case I run out of time. I should definitely cover this one, and this one. All right.
Thank you. Okay, I will do it.
No worries. All right, and I need one last person. I'm sorry to keep you waiting here. Sarnigor Turgunava.
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you. All righty. I'm going to ask you a part 3 question.
Okay. I'll try.
Please be as. That's what I like to hear. Try your best, and please be as detailed as you can. Okay.
Okay.
How important is it for families to go on holiday together?
To my point of view, traveling with family members is a good way of strengthening a relationship with them. Because when people go somewhere together, they can speak a lot, or they can share their ideas with each other. That's why it's important, I think.
Okay. All right. So you gave plenty of details. I like that. We need to work on your structure, make your speech better connected. Use more adverbs. You need to use more connecting words like however, things like that. Therefore, you know, they speak a lot and share a lot of ideas. They don't speak a lot. They you can say they have deep conversations or something like that, right? They have deep conversation, therefore they have the opportunity to share feelings and ideas. You see, better connect the sentences like that. Okay. Next time, make it a little bit longer. Use more connecting words.
Okay.
And watch out for those for the articles a and the. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. All righty, everyone. Sarnigor, you said you want to speak part 2?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be the last person today. I'll do another part 2 with you. And then maybe we'll do one more person part 3, and then we'll be done for tonight, guys. Sanigar, let's see. Let's talk about money. Money, 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 money. Okay. Describe something you bought that you had to save money for. You have 1 minute to prepare. Take some notes if you wish. Have a think. After that, I will ask you to start speaking. Your 1 minute to prepare begins now. All righty, that's time's up. You may start speaking now. Sorry, I can't hear you if you're speaking. I'm going to start the clock again. Your time to prepare is up. You may start speaking now.
Who's the name of the student?
Sarni, I'm sorry, Sarnigor, Sarnigavor, something like that.
Zarnigor, please unmute yourself.
I think she dropped off. I think she dropped off for some reason.
Ah, okay.
Okay. All righty. Okay. Sorry, Donnie Yorbeck, I don't have time for another part 2 question, but I do have time for another part 3. Would you mind? Donnie Yorbeck? I don't have time for another part 2. I can do part 3. Would you mind? Is that okay? Sorry, Donnie Yorbeck. If you can't hear me, I can't hear you. I got to move on. Does anybody want to do a part 3 question?
Shall I?
Okay. Okay, I'll do one with. Okay. Okay, Seboshka, I'll do one with you, and then this will be the end. I'll see you guys in further sessions in the future too. So if you didn't get a chance today, I'll make sure you get a chance next time. Okay. Okay, Sebosha. Let's talk about. Let's talk about hobbies. In your country, do people have a good balance between work and leisure time?
I don't think so, because in my country, people are prone to find spend their most time for work, because it takes them much time. Mostly people have a they might have a problem with financial therefore it might be it makes them to spend their much time for work rather than leisure time. But sometimes we can some people who have a much better job, I mean lucrative job, they might find their more leisure time for themselves. it's up to their time mostly.
Alrighty. Your answer was a little bit difficult for me to understand. It was a little bit disorganized. You were going here and there and there. We need to organize the sentence, our answer a little bit more. Work on your TH pronunciation. You got to bite your tongue a little bit. Think with, okay? So work on those. But I love the details, all right? Work on organization. It needs to go from A to B to C. I think you went from A to B to B, A to D to B to C to E. Okay, so we need to organize a little bit. But it's above a 5 for sure. All right. So good job on that. All right, guys, it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope to see you in future sessions. Please keep practicing. Remember what I told you about the apps, the Google Translate. Practice as much as you can. Remember, it's not, the most important thing is not what you do in class, but what you do in your time after class. Maybe you go to class for 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, but what you do with the other 22 hours, it's what's going to improve your English. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Have a great night, and I hope to see you in the future. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you for your lesson.
Thank you.